So today's topic we are going to discuss about the functional requirements. As we said in the previous class about SRS is divided into several components. The components may be something like functionality. First component is functionality, second component is performance, third component is design, constraints imposed on the implementation, and the fourth component is external interfaces who can be involved in the development of the software. So now we are going to discuss the first aspect, that is functional requirements, with an approach which is a new approach, that is called as use cases approach. Through use cases we will be defining the functional aspects of the development. So what is the functionalities? So a system contains some functionalities. So what exactly a functionality means and how a system will work, that is called as the functional aspects. That is what the specifications which we are trying to specify in the SRS document, that how a system performs its tasks. Okay, this is what we are going to discuss, but we are using one approach. The approach is called as use case approach here. Now what is use case and what will be the part of use cases? Let us see. So this is a traditional approach which is followed by the functional requirements. Okay, this is a traditional approach. We can say that traditional means it is a general approach. Actually, use cases are generally used for specifying functional aspects of the system which is going to be developed. So what exactly the aim of the use cases? What exactly the purpose of the use cases? Use cases will define the behavior of the systems. They will describe how the system will work by using some kind of scenarios, by using some kind of situations. So let us say that there are so many people to run. Let us take an example. That is, to run an institution, there are so many people have been involved in it. Like the management, let us say that it is an educational institution. There will be one person who is the head of the institution. Along with that, there are several other departments will be there. The collective efforts of those departments, then only the institution will run. So all of the things will be involved in it. So every department has its own functionality, own purpose. So every department has its own aim, goal also. So similarly, when we are developing a system, so we will be trying to identify the functional aspects of the system, the key functional aspects of the system, by using an approach called as use case. So let us see what is use case. Use cases are a new technique for specifying the behavior of a system which is going to be developed. Behaviors are nothing but the functionality which is performed by the system. So, and it majorly concentrates on the functional specifications. Use cases specifies, or use cases will be focusing mainly on the functional aspects, functional specifications only. So how, let us say that one person is there, how he is going to perform with this, how he is going to interact with the system. So all these aspects will be described by the use cases. So as we said, it is primarily used for specification of functional, and also use cases can be helpful in analyzing also, analyzing the system also. Along with that, use cases also specifies the business aspects and organizational behavior, which will be focusing on the software also. So as part of business or organization, the use cases also describes in the perspective of the business as well as the organization, which will be focusing on the software system. And this specification or this approach is well suited for the interactive systems. Interactive systems means Let us say that user is interacting with some kind of a system. It is responding with some kind of output for us. Let us say that you have a browser for you. Browser, if you are asking some questions to the browser, it will be searching for you and it will be giving you some kind of results for you. So you are trying to interact with that browser. That is what called as a system, searching engine, search engine. So these are some of the aspects of use cases. So primer concentration is primarily the use cases will be concentrating on functional specifications, and also it will be helpful in analyzing the situations functionally, how the system is going to perform. The analysis also done with the help of the use cases. And one more important point we can say as part of use cases, they majorly actually they will be discussed as part of object oriented development modeling approach, because use cases have been interacted, that is adapted by the object oriented modeling. So we can say that it is a part of the object oriented approach also. So what happens with this object oriented approach? It will be discussing about more about objects, those who are involved in the system. So let us see some more points regarding this. So these are some of the basics which we are going to discuss right now. That is, a use case captures a contract between a user and the system about their behaviors. So use cases will be defining or describing about the user who is going to interact with the system. That is the main aspects of the use case. And one more thing, as part of SRS, if we are specifying the functionality of a system with the help of use cases, majorly description of these functional aspects will be done in normal text. Okay, normal textual you can be representing. Document means you will be writing some kind of a text in that one. So through text we are able to understand the things. But according to use cases, we also involve some diagrams to it. Okay, along with the diagrams, along with the text, we will be defining the functional aspects as part of the SRS. So here with this diagrammatic representation or diagrammatic involvement of describing the things, they will be useful in requirements understanding by the users. And we can also say that use cases will be looking like some kind of a storytelling aspects. If we if we are going to say something to some person, when we read out some kind of a points by one, line by line, then what happens? The lines may not be understood by the person who is listening to us. So if you tell the things in a story way, if you tell the things in a some kind of a storytelling way, then what happens? He can easily understand the things. So use cases will be doing such kind of a things by using diagrams. So let us see some of the important terms which have been used in the use cases. So there are some terms, they will be used for representing the functional aspects of the system which is going to be developed. So one of the term is actor. Actor is a person or a system that interacts with the proposed system to achieve a goal. So it is a term actor, which is nothing but a person or a system. Actor may be a person or a system that will be interacting with the proposed system to achieve a goal. So what is proposed system? We are proposing an improvement over the existing system. So software development is a major aspect. Is software development is nothing but we are developing a thing which can be overriding the previous thing, that is existing things. So that is what we are saying here. Actor is a person or a system that interacts with the proposed system to achieve the goals. So for example, user of an ATM is an actor. User of an ATM is nothing but the people, or we are also called as the actors because we are able to use the ATM. ATM is one kind of a system which can be used by a person. Maybe they are called as users. So, but the a goal of ATM is to get the money. So let us say that there is one more example here, a data entry operator. The goal of the data entry operator is to perform some transactions. Okay, so these are some of the examples of actors. Next, actor is a logical entity. So receiver and sender actors are different. So who are sender, who are receivers, let us discuss in coming classes. But here, according to the actor perspective, it is the same person who is going to use the system. So actors can be people or the systems, as we said. So the next term is primary actor. Okay, next term is primary actor. So primary actor, it is the main. So who will be called as primary actor? The main actor for whom a use case is initiated and whose goal satisfaction is the main objective of the use case. So main actor who initiates a use case. Let us say that product buying. Okay, product buying is one kind of a case or a scenario or some kind of a task. So it is intended for the customers. So who will buy the product? Customers will buy the product. So here use case is nothing but buying a product. So the actor is the customer. So use case here, primary actor, who will be the primary actor? So use case is defining a particular person, intended for particular person. So he will be the primary actor for a particular use case. So in this use case is to satisfy the goals of the primary actor. The actual execution may be done by a system or another person on behalf of the primary actor. So if the person is not there, the system can be used in place of the primary actor also. So primary actor may be a person intended for a particular use case. Next term is a scenario. Scenario is nothing but set of actions performed to achieve a goal under some conditions. Try to understand this. It is one kind of a sequence of steps that should be performed to achieve particular task based on some criteria. That is what a scenario means. So under this, we are also specifying some actions, nothing but a sequence of steps. They are logically complete action performed either by the actor or the system. So scenario is one kind of a sequence of steps that should be followed to achieve some goals based on some criteria. So next term is main success scenario. So what is this main success scenario term defines? It describes the interaction. If nothing fails, all the steps in the scenario succeed. So main success scenario is nothing but, as we just know, elaborated scenario definition, that is sequence of steps to be performed. If every steps performed in a, let us say that if there is no problem in performing all the scenarios, all the steps in the scenarios, then we can say that the success scenario has been attained. The goal of the scenario has been attained. Next, alternate scenarios. So what is this? If let us say that scenario, as we said, scenario is a combination of sequence of steps. If something happens at particular steps, what should be the A response from the system which is given to the user or the actor. So that is what the alternate scenarios or extension of scenarios we can say that. When things go wrong and the goals cannot be achieved, then you will be proposing, the system will propose some kind of solutions for the problems which have been encountered during the scenarios execution. So these are the basic terms and the basics. Just now we discussed the same thing, that is use case is collection of many such scenarios, because many scenarios will be there in particular development of a software. So the software is collection of all those scenarios. Every scenario is a combination of sequence of steps, and every scenario has some kind of a goal, and every scenario has to perform some criteria based on some criteria. So this is what we are able to see in this slide. So as we discussed just now, use cases specify functionality by describing the interactions between the actors and the systems. It will be focusing on the external behavior, and also the primary, it will be in the form of a technical, but later it has included some diagrammatic representations of use cases, and it will be defining who are the actors and what are the dependencies which are dealing with the use cases. It will be in the form of storytelling or description, story like description. It is easy to understand both by the users and the analyst. And one more thing, SRS is not completed with the functionality part, because SRS is a combination of several components. Defining or specifying the functionality with the help of use cases will not give a complete SRS document. So we need to go further. So up to this point, we are concentrating on the functional aspects of a software development, which is part of the SRS document. So let us take an example. Buy a product, it is one kind of a use case. Buy a product is one kind of a use case. So who will be the primary actor, the buyer or the customer? So what is the goal of this use case? Goal of the use case is nothing but purchasing some product. So what should be the precondition? Customer is already logged in. See, this is one kind of a online buying. Okay, online purchase of the product. Okay. Let us see what are the main scenarios which can be encountered with this use case. Use case is buying a product. The primary actor is a buyer or customer. The goal of the use case is to purchase some product, and the preconditions, that is what are the pre-requirements, that is customer should be already logged in. It means that it is one kind of an online purchase of the product use case. So these are some of the scenarios. So it is one kind of a main scenario which contains several steps. So what happens here is, first of all, the customer browses and selects some items. After that, customer checks out. After that, customer fills all the shipping details into the site, and the system will respond with some kind of a pricing details. And after that, payment details, customer fills all the credit card information regarding that, and after that, system authorizes the purchase. So system will confirm the sale. After that, confirms the sale, and by sending the confirming email to the customer. So these are some of these. This is the scenario. In this, several steps will be there, sequence of steps will be there. So if something happens with this, some problem has happened in credit card information filling, customer fills the credit card information. Let us say that it will system will be proposing some kind of information to the customer, sir, that try again for filling the credit card information or payment details. Some technical aspects have been gone wrong. So at that time, let us say that customer fills the credit card information, something happened. So it will ask the customer to enter the details once again. So that is what the alternate scenario. That is what we are saying here, alternate scenario. So these are the alternate scenarios, that is credit card authorization fails. So it will allow the customer to re-enter the information, and the Next, alternate solution. Alternatives are regular customer. So what happens here is, let us say that you are purchasing so many products. Let us say that you will be using some kind of online purchasing apps like Amazon or Flipkart. If you are regularly purchasing some products in those apps, so what happens here is they will be saving your information, credit card information, last four digits or some kind of a digits. They will be saying some kind of information into that before you fill it again. So it will ask the customer to go with this information, or you can change also. So that is what, if you are a regular customer for a particular app or the system, so it will ask or it will display some kind of a default information which is available with that app, and it will also ask the customer whether to change the default information or you can continue with that. So these are some kind of alternatives which are possible. So these are some of the sequence of steps. See, we have alternate scenarios regarding the third point and the sixth point. You can observe from here. We have a alternative scenario regarding third point, that is customer fills shipping details. Because regular customer, if he is a regular customer, the address will be fixed for it. Let us say that he wants the shipping details should be changed. So he wants some other address to be delivered. So it will be changed according to the customer. Next, sixth, system authorizes purchase. Just now I told you regarding the credit card informations. So this is one kind of a use case. The use case is buying a product, online purchase of the product. So we have one more example, that is auction through online. We are putting, that is, there is one kind of an item which is kept for auction, which is online. So who will be the primary actor? The seller will be the primary actor. So the product seller will be the primary actor, and the condition for the precondition for the item or this kind of a use case is seller has to logged in. So seller must be logged into the system. So what will be the main success scenarios for this use case? So seller will post an item, its category, description and picture for auction. So see, if you want to sell something online, you have some kind of an app also, website. That is, what is that? I want answers from you. Which site is used for selling the products online? OLX.com. Yeah, OLX.com is one kind of a third party website which is used for selling the products online. So if you want to sell the product online, you will be giving a complete description of the particular product which is going to be sold online. So who will be the primary actor for that? The seller is the primary actor. So if I want to sell something, so I will be the primary actor. So what happens here is the precondition is he has to be logged into the system. So you have to log into the olx.com, and after that you will be posting the item, and you are describing all the details about the item. So, and one more thing, the system shows the past prices of similar items to the seller. So what happens here is if you are selling one kind of a mobile online, so second hand mobile you are selling on online, so the system will be showing you the past prices, that is what will be the prices for this kind of a product, similar items. Next, system specifies the starting bid price and the date when the auction is closed. So it will be showing the price for the particular product which has been posted onto the site, and when will be the auction will be closed. So then system will accept the item and post in the website. Let us say that the website is nothing but one kind of a system. Next, exception scenarios. So what happens? So let us consider, while we are discussing about main success scenarios, there are some exceptions to be considered. That is, there are no past items of this category. The system tells the seller this situation. So when you are trying to post a particular item, if there is no previous item of similar things, then it will be informed by the system to the seller regarding these issues. So what happened? There is no nothing other product is available. You will be going with the proceed. Proceed is the option which will be used. Okay. So this is what an auction use case. Let's go for the second. So it is one kind of bids. So it is the same scenario, same will be done. Next we have exceptions. Next the third, complete auction of an item. Same thing. Next important point is, or next important topic is developing use cases. So how to develop use cases based on the aspects. So first of all, we need to identify actors who are the key participants and who will be going to use this system. So first, the thing is identifying the actors and the goals of particular scenarios which have been adapted with the system. So there will be a list. First of all, according to the developing of use cases, first aspect will be dealing with the actors identification and the goals identification, and there will be a list will be prepared. Okay. And the second step, we are going to specify main success scenarios. That is, what are the steps needed for particular scenario to be said as a success one. That is the goals of the success scenario. Scenarios are nothing but some kind of sequence of steps to be done. So we need to prepare for each case, for each use case, main success scenarios will be defined, and so many behaviors will be added to it. Next, the third one, failure conditions. So what should, if main success scenarios have been defined in the second step, so according to that, what will be the failure conditions possible for particular use cases? So identifying them, it will be a very hard one. Okay, identifying the failure conditions, it is little bit easy, but it is not easy to handle them also. So that is what the fourth step it is saying, failure to handling, specify the failure handling. So if particular scenarios fails, under what particular scenario, one's step or sequence of steps have been problem. So what happens if you are not able to put a solution for that, that will be a problem for us. So it is the hardest part of defining it. So specify the system behavior for the failure conditions also. So along with this, we said that use cases not only helping the or describing the functional specifications, but also it helps the analysis point of view also. So in the next class, we are going to see about analysis with the approach of use cases. So use cases not only describes the functional specifications or functional requirements of a particular software, it also helps in analyzing a particular situation in a system, or the system analysis also will be done with the help of use cases also. In the coming classes, we are going to see some of the diagrams. Okay, some diagrams, data flow diagrams, some kind of diagrams will be there. So based on the diagrams, how we are going to represent a particular situation in a system, diagrammatic representation of the system, and it will be done with the help of a language called as unified modeling language. So it needs some kind of a language to represent system in a diagrammatic way. Why we need a diagrammatic representation of a system or any software? Because if you write SRS document with the totally text related, so all the things cannot be read by the customer or the user. So he will be missing some kind of a points. So diagrammatic representation of particular situation in the SRS will be helpful for the user or the analyst to understand a particular scenarios in the SRS. So diagrams will help to understand the things in a better way rather than using a text. So in the coming classes, we are going to see such kind of a things like diagrammatic representations of particular situations. So this is all for today. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir.